Hi there. I'm going to help you to navigate your way around Microsoft Teams. Let's start with the app that's already downloaded on the laptop. That part, there are instructions on how to do that in the technology booklet. Assuming you get that downloaded, I'm going to open the app and fill my screen. On the left, this is your main locations of interesting stuff. In the calendar, you will find a couple interesting locations. First thing I want you to notice over here on the right is I would recommend that you change, if it's not already as a week, change it to a full week because that shows both Saturday and Sunday. And sometimes I'll have tutorials and I'll put them in the calendar on a Sunday. And that may be the way that you will choose to get into the class. So I would suggest showing those days. Now you can see I'm scrolling here with these buttons left or right to get to the appropriate week. So this is the first week of September. I've got nothing in there yet. It's only August 21st. I am keener and a nerd, but I'm not quite there yet to put this information in. For example, if there was a meeting scheduled or a class scheduled on one of these days, you could access it from the calendar. I want to go back and just to show you, I have a meeting scheduled on the 25th of August. You can see it's in my calendar here. I click on it once, a pop-up comes up, it says join. And that would be how you would join a class if you wanted to get to it from the calendar. Simple join. It opens up a second window. Let's see what happens. Oh, good Lord. I'm not going to join it all the way. But oh, there's a nice little webcam. Let's turn that off. I'm in my garage looking like a she-devil. So you choose your audio. You can change your background if you want to. Oh, I'll turn my video back on even though it's the worst you're ever going to see me. Background filter, I can put a blur so you can't see that I'm in the garage. I could pretend I'm at the beach or I'm in a house, etc. So if you want to change any of your, why did not let me do that? Well, for the love of Pete. Okay, there's a blur and the beach appearance. Don't you love technology? Let's leave it on a blur. Okay, and then you hit join. That's how you get into the meeting. Notice, please, that there's a second pop-up window, and that's called the meeting window. And that meeting window is where you're going to attend class. The window behind the original Teams app is going to be in the background, but you're not going to actually use it. Okay? So let's close that because we're not going to that meeting. The second piece of interesting navigation tool you should have is how to call me or call a classmate or make a private chat. So for example, it's in your technology booklet as well, but chat, click on the pencil. If I type in a name, I'm just going to type in a random name of a student. Let's just say I choose, I don't know. I think in my booklet I chose one of my students by the name of Roy, Zachary Roy, and I clicked on his name. Okay, notice his name is there. If I go down to the bottom and type a new message in that box, put my arrow, it starts a conversation. And that's what you would type to send me a private information. Or I would start a message to you, same way, you'd me to you. If you want to call me, video call or audio call, up here on the right, there's these two buttons. And that's how you would do it. Just click on another one of those. The new window pops up and it's easy peasy. I could do that. Probably shouldn't. But that's what would happen. So now I'm calling this poor dude in the summertime. I'm gonna hang that up. Okay, that's kind of important. Later on, you're gonna see we're gonna have a team for math. There'll be a team along here with your course name at some point when those IT people get their stuff together. Almost said a bad word. Up here in the right hand corner, you're going to see that beside my name, I've chosen make it green, which means I'm available. Okay, below that, get out of there, typical symbol for settings. Okay, and beside it, no, I lied. The settings are up here now. You never can keep track. They're here. Why they aren't there, I don't know, but they're here. Okay, so you should quite commonly, once you check your app, check for updates. So it'll do that in the background. That's very, very important to do that on a weekly basis, I would say. And then, what am I looking for here? Settings. Okay, you can change the way it looks. I like the dark myself, but it's harder to see, so I'll leave it on the light. The layout, if you'd like it as a grid or a list. Want it to open up automatically your teams. Those kind of things. Change your settings to English if they aren't already. That's important. And then notifications is a biggie. You probably do not want pop-ups every time in class somebody writes in the chat. This is where you would turn off your notifications down along here. So you can turn off chat. Okay, you can get your chat messages. Turn off the notifications for likes and reactions, blah, blah, blah. This is the location to do that. You can turn off notifications in the Teams. You can change it here custom. Your choices are in the banner in the feed or only in the feed. So banner will be up down in your little corner. That's quite annoying. I prefer to have the notifications just in the messages, like in the team itself, not popping up. So that's kind of the main stuff that you need. You can play around with these things, but there's where you do your settings, and your availability is up there. Teams are over here. There's files stored in here. You can do that. You're pretty golden. I'm going to reduce this down. I'm going to bring over a window. I just before I started this typed in Office 365 into Google, and then I hit enter, of course. So now it all came. I'm going to hit Office 365 login. Now, because my information, my NBCC email, my password have already been verified this week with the code, it came up automatically. So in Office 365, you will have many, many features that you should be aware of. So for example, on the side, you have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, your Outlook, your student email, John J. Doe 01 at mynbcc.ca. All those informations, all those emails will be available in this location in your Outlook. Okay, PowerPoint is there. Back up here at the app launcher, I can go back. If you're ever desperate, you can also get to Teams this way through the online Teams app, but it's not as stable as downloading the actual app to your laptop or your tablet. It's just not, and it doesn't work well for things like breakout rooms and such. But sometimes when you're desperate, or you're in your car, or something's happening and you're at an appointment and you want to tune into class, you don't want to miss it, you're on your phone, this is a way to do that. Taken forever, that's okay. That's how she rolls. Notice the same kind of setup exactly. Your activity, where you're going to have little messages and whatnot. The chat is there. The teams that are there. The calendars here and so on. And then once you click on something in your calendar, it will open a second window to allow you to enter the class or the meeting, it's called, by clicking on it once and hitting join. Okay, if you want to make a meeting, up here, make a meeting. Most of you will either chat to each other through the chat feature by clicking on the pencil and making a new chat, and then calling each other that way or calling me. Hope that helps a little bit navigating around Teams. And I'm sure if it doesn't, you're going to let me know. Take her easy.